Hello, my name's Tom Macrina. You can find me at all social media at RideCape. I'm brought to you by hitthepick.com. Make sure you go head over to hitthepick.com for all our free content. We have plenty out there. So this video today is going to be about betting strategies, and I got discipline for you. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Pretty much why you want to be a disciplined better. I'm going to give you some strategies that I actually use. And hopefully after this video, you know a little more about how you should go about sports betting. So, sports betting can be a fun way to engage with your favorite sports. But without discipline, it's kind of a fast track to frustration, financial loss. Discipline is the backbone of successful betting. It separates the casual gamblers from those who consistently make informed, strategic decisions. So in this video, I'm going to show you the importance of discipline in sports betting. I'll give you some strategies, and we're going to ensure that you approach betting with clarity, control, and purpose. So why does discipline matter in sports betting? So sports betting is a blend of skill, knowledge, and chance. So while luck plays a role, disciplined bettors understand that long-term success hinges on consistent decision-making, emotional control, and adherence to a well-defined strategy. So without discipline, even the most knowledgeable bettor can fall into traps like chasing losses, betting impulsively, overestimating their edge. So discipline is going to transform betting from a reckless gamble into a calculated edge. It's going to help you manage risk, maximize opportunities, and stay focused on your goals. So let's talk a little bit about goals. The first thing you want to do to be disciplined is to set clear goals and limits. So without defined objectives, betting becomes boring, leads to bad decisions. You want clear goals and limits to keep you grounded. So what you want to do is you want to define your purpose. Are you betting for fun? Are you betting for profit? Are you betting for both? You want to set realistic expectations based on your knowledge and the resources that are given to you. Another thing you want to do is establish a bankroll. It's a fixed amount of money dedicated to betting. You're never going to exceed it. Common rule is to risk about 1 to 5% of your bankroll per wager. You also want to set limits, losing and winning. It helps you avoid emotional swings. So, stop betting after losing a certain amount in a session. Personally, when I'm on a bad run, I like to keep my volume lower. You also don't want to get too high when you're winning. So another thing you want to do is develop a betting strategy, and you want to stick to it. That's key. You want to make sure that you stick to your strategy. A consistent strategy reduces reliance on your gut feelings or the impulsive bets, which often lead to losses. So you want to research and choose a betting system that suits your style. Me personally, I like to bet a lot of dogs. I like unders. I'm very data driven. So I want to look and see what the data tells me, if the market's agreeing with it. But if I could find an edge on a dog, I'm going to look for that first. If you're just starting out, you're going to want to focus on specific sports, leagues, bet types. You have to find out where your expertise is. So if you know the NFL well, stick to NFL bets. Rather than doing like basketball or something like that. Go with the money lines, spreads, totals, props. See what you're good at. I mean, you want to make sure that you document your strategy. You want to know what your criteria for selecting wagers is, and you need to follow it religiously. Even when you're on losing streaks, you want to stick to the betting strategy. Another thing we want to do is make sure we're managing our emotions. Emotional betting can be driven by a few things: excitement, frustration, desperation. All of those things clouds your judgment and leads to poor decisions. So you want to avoid chasing losses. After losing a bet, that doesn't mean that you increase your stake to win it back. Don't let wins inflate your confidence as well on the other side. So a big win can tempt you to bet recklessly. You might throw a little extra on the next wager because you just hit a big win. That's not the way to do it. Stick to your unit size. You can take breaks, highs or lows. You don't want to get too excited. You don't want to get too angry. You just want to relax, breathe. You want to win. So one of the most important things you're going to be doing to be disciplined is to keep detailed records. Tracking your bets is going to provide insight into your performance. It's going to help you identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and your patterns. So you want to log every bet. You want to have the date, event, wager amount, the odds, the outcome, and a little write-up of why you chose this team or this wager. I personally use a spreadsheet. Sites actually take care of it for me too, so I have it backed up on both sides, which is nice. But you can find all types of free betting apps out there, like Action, Pickett's another one that they're gonna keep track for you. So just makes it a little easier for the user. But you want to make sure you look at your records regularly. You want to see what you're winning at. You want to see what your ROI is. Look for places where you can improve. You want to use data to refine your strategy. So if you notice that you're losing on totals, maybe look and go to spreads and see how well you do that with just shifting your focus to something else. You want to avoid overbetting, chasing trends, betting too frequently, following friends with no analysis. It messes with your focus. It increases your risk of losing. You really want to be selective. You only bet what you have done the research on. Not something you saw on television, ESPN told you, some guy on YouTube. You got to ignore the hype around the short things, the public sentiment. The crowds often love favorites, so it screws the odds. It creates opportunities for the disciplined bettor to find a value on the underdogs, which is what I like to do. You want to limit the number of bets you place daily, weekly. You just want to keep focus and avoid spreading your bankroll too thin. Big thing with sports betting is the markets evolve. Disciplined bettors are going to stay ahead by continuously learning and adjusting their approach. So you want to stay updated on team news, injuries, weather if that's a problem, any factor that's going to influence the outcomes. You want to follow reputable sources for betting insights. You want specific, very independent information. I like to follow beat writers for college and professional. It helps a lot. They know a lot more than they're in the trenches there. They know a lot more than we do. But you don't blindly trust anybody, especially on social media. And then you want to make sure that your strategy is based on performance data, market changes, but you want to make sure that you avoid drastic shifts after your short-term results. So if you have a good week, that doesn't mean that you should change everything because you had a good week, and vice versa. If you have a bad week, you don't change anything either. You stick to your plan. So yeah, a few things you want to do. Make sure you create a routine. especially if you're going to do this full time. You have to treat betting like a job. Set specific times for research, placing your wagers, reviewing outcomes. That helps avoid impulsive decisions. Make sure all the tools you can use, betting calculators, odd comparison sites, bankroll management apps. These are all things, majority of them free, that can help you make informed decisions. You have to be patient. You have to be able to accept that losses are part of the process. What discipline means is sticking to your strategy even when the results don't go your way. Yeah. Also, just make sure you're not betting without the research. Don't ignore the bankroll management. Don't fall for these guaranteed systems. You just keep with the discipline. So discipline in sports betting is about playing the long game. Short-term wins or losses do not define success. What's going to define success is consistency and control. So by setting clear goals, following a strategy, we're going to manage our emotions. We're going to learn from our results. You can approach betting as a calculated endeavor rather than a gamble. Over time, the disciplined mindset will not only improve your betting outcomes, but it will also enhance your enjoyment of the process of sports betting. The discipline, it's a cornerstone of the successful sports betting, requires commitment, self-control, a willingness to learn from both wins and losses. But by implementing the strategies that I showed you today, setting limits, sticking to a plan, managing emotions, staying informed, you can transform sports betting from a risky pastime into a rewarding challenge. So I hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Tom Macrina. Make sure you head over to hitthepick.com. You can find me at Rycape. Let's catch some